Welcome to the Unwashed Asses, episode 68, recorded Monday, December 31st, 2018. It's the last day of the year. We've made it this far. 2 years this show's been going. Not always hitting, every week. Sometimes we take sabbaticals. Sabbaticals that last a few months, but we always come back. I'm gonna be honest. Not feeling it still. The Christmas existential crisis, it persists, which was interesting because I noticed when we posted the episode up, it got a lot of traction, I guess, on social media, and it was probably all automated and robotics, like, oh, you're having an existential crisis, you matter, we believe in you, type of bullshit, which was just all like Twitter responses and bots reposting things. So it's just like, oh yeah, you did keyword existential crisis, and all right, we're gonna go with that. But no, I'm at that. I shouldn't say at the point because it's fucking dumb, like everything else. I'm still having a hard time seeing, the point in things, and this is the time of year, like the end of the year is when everybody tallies and takes inventory of their accomplishments and their achievements, and says, look at me and what I have done. If not in a public face, then in a personal setting or mindset of, have I accomplished what I set out to this year? Because it's not so much a thing of what did I actually accomplish this year, more so as it is a what do I still need to accomplish next year. Because very, very soon we're going to be coming into New Year, where everybody makes resolutions that nobody keeps. It's like me saying I'm going to get, episodes out on time. It doesn't fucking happen. But things like, I'm going to lose weight, or I'm going to, gain so many followers, or I'm going to get a raise, and I'm going to get promotions, and I'm going to climb Mount Everest. Just people setting, I guess, goals. It's interesting that the mindset's already shifted towards goals after a couple of years of trying to force myself to look at it that way. But no, resolutions are more along the lines of, self-betterment. And that's where I struggle, because I look at it as a thing of, does your measure of success make you a better person? And I'm not necessarily trying to define it as, good versus evil, what does the moral compass say, but, does the number of likes your Facebook post garnered make you a better person? Or have you ascended in any sense to a place that's even, half a peg higher than the other man? Does the number of pounds lost on a scale, does that number make you inherently better? And does your paycheck, seeing those numbers go up, make you better? And some would argue, measures of success are just that. They are measures of how successful you are, and you're a fucking idiot. Which, to be fair, good point. But ultimately, doesn't matter. At the end of the day, when you've punched your clock and there's nothing more, you stand on the precipice of the abyss, ready to be devoured. Does any of it matter? Does the number of cars you've owned, or the number of Facebook friends you have, or the number of downloads your podcasts that you do, does that ultimately matter for anything? I say no. And that's where I struggle now is I'm not necessarily angry at it or even upset. It's just I still have that general malaise. And I'm trying real hard just to make peace with it. But if nothing matters, then why keep going? And I know I alluded or even talked in the last episode that it gives you that sense of freedom, that ability to move on and do what you like. But now I'm faced with the sensation of what's the point? If I can't take joy in things by nature of doing them, what's the point in doing them? If I am sick and tired of talking to the people that I call friend or family and just don't want to deal with anybody, what's the point of calling them friend or honoring that family bond? And I find myself, trying to fight the urge to revert into nothingness. And I understand I am on a major decline right now. I'm going deep into the valley of depression, and due to the nature of who I am, I'll be on an upswing and I'll feel better about it. And it's just a matter of weathering the storm at this point. But it doesn't make the storm any more enjoyable to go through. It's looking at things with a sense of logic, I guess you could say. When you understand that I guess good example would be I fully support suicide. I definitely believe if that's something you truly want to do, it is absolutely you're right. Go for it. But it's the thing of you have to be sure. You only get to do it the one time. So my rule is always sleep on it. There's several times a month at least where it's like, all right, yeah, I'm ready. I'm good to go. I want to just end it. There's a billion different ways I have available to do it, but the rule stands: sleep on it, because 100% of the time I feel different in the morning. And that one time I don't, hey, I can still do it then. It's not like there's a flash sale going on suicide, like, get your suicides here, get it done by 8 o'clock or the sale runs out. No, I can always just wake up and do it. But I have to make sure that it's something, persistent. Something that I'm sure of. And tying back into the point of, I understand how my hormones and chemical balances work, and it's just a matter of waiting and weathering the storm. And there's it's sombering, it's a thing of I know it is how it is, and I just have to suck it up and deal with it. It's like when you have to go into work and you don't want to, like, you're just not feeling it. Like, you're not ill, you're not throwing up, you're mentally just not there. You don't want to put up with the bullshit, but you still have to go in and clock in and deal with it. And that's all it is dealing with it. And you're going through the motions, and you're just waiting for the time to go home. And that's where I am right now. I'm not even on autopilot, and that's the aggravating bit. Like, if I could just switch off for a bit and just kind of coast through this before we get on the uptick, then oh yeah, that'd be great. But I can't, and it's just I'm constantly dwelling on things and looking for bits of enjoyment and excitement and something to strike a passion in me again. And then there's the other side of, like, when I think about doing a show or recording, it's like, oh yeah, I want to talk about this or I want to talk about that, and then there's always that voice that nags and says, well, that's dumb, that's fucking retarded, and why are you even doing a podcast? Because I saw a quote yesterday on Imager. It was one of those Twitter posts. It's like, oh yeah, overheard in public, and it was some person saying, "Tramps, what is it? Podcasts are this generation's tramp stamps." And anytime I see something kind of relating to podcasts, especially in such a tone, it strikes a real personal blow to me, because it brings us back to, what's the point? Everybody and their fucking brother does this thing, and a lot of it is garbage, probably this show included, where Rachel will be watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and there's some guy on there with one of them Kardashian girls is like, oh baby, we got a pod, we got a cast, and it's so fucking pretentious and annoying, and it makes me hate every second of this, and I feel bad for subjecting you to it, even though you can just switch it off at any time, because it just feels so utterly pointless and self-serving and terrible. Like, it's cringe-inducing, and kind of same thing with that quote. But we harken back to another quote, a different philosophy, if you will. Like, oh, who are the great philosophers of this generation? Well, it's the Kardashians and fucking Dave Grohl. Where, let's see if we can find. This is great podcasting here. Great casting. Quote. Okay, yeah. Let's see here. I don't believe in guilty pleasures. If you fucking like something, like it. That's what's wrong with our generation. The residual punk rock guilt, like, you're not supposed to like that. That's not fucking cool. Fuck you. That's who I am. God damn it. The whole guilty pleasure thing is full of fucking shit. And ultimately, I guess that's what it comes into, is feeling bad about liking things, because it's almost like the counterculture it's cool to hate things. Whereas I need to look at being my own person and thinking for myself and doing things that I enjoy, and breaking free of that mindset. And I guess ultimately that's where it's going to lead going into this next year, is realizing or coming to know I need to go find myself and learn to love myself and heal and grow as a person, and just really get in touch with who I am. And again, it's pretentious and self-serving and makes me want to just fucking tear the flesh off my bones. But it's something, if I want to stop being the way I am and become this theoretical better person, that's something that has to happen. So I look forward to, casting with you and seeing where this journey takes the both of us, because as I've said many times before, I don't do this show for you, I do it for me. And you act as my little silent armchair therapist, the rubber ducky to my coder, the person who explains in their quiet, graceful presence everything that is wrong about me and how to correct it. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate you for it. So, another downer episode. Woo! Woo! But, we got it done. I didn't want to do an episode, but we got it done, and I feel better. And that's all because of you. Because you have set this expectation to me that, hey, get these fucking episodes out. And I appreciate you for that. So, closing out 2018 in an always delightful manner and looking forward to 2019 with you. I need a closer, guys. Somebody write the show. Write the show with a fucking closer, because I can't end these things and it's driving me nuts.